Hi kids, welcome to an episode of Cooking with Mrs. B. Today we're going to cook filet. Now you can use this with ribeye or T-bone or sirloin or any other kind of steak, and it's just a simple prep. First off, I like to get out all the things that I need. You'll need some paper towels, your steak, some salt, paper plate, butter, tongs, and some aluminum foil and a baking sheet, and of course an oven. The first thing we're going to do is to get as much moisture out of the meat as possible with our paper towels. So let's do that first. Okay, I have patted this piece front and back with the paper towels to get it as dry as possible. It's also a good idea if this piece of meat can sit out for an hour or so to bring it up to room temperature. A room temperature steak will just cook better. Here's my go-to. I really like the Chicago steak seasoning. You may use whatever you like. Now this is coarse salt, which is nice for texture, but it actually doesn't taste that salty, so I like to add a little table salt as well. So let's go ahead and spice it up on both sides. There we go. It's all nice and salty. And ideally, if you can let it just kind of dry marinate in that little rub for 20 minutes, that's a good idea. If not, skip that step. I'm going to skip it because I'm hungry. Next, get some butter melting in a pan. I'm a fan of cast iron skillets because they distribute the heat evenly. They get really hot. Oh, you see how the butter is starting to bubble like that? That's how you know it's time to put this on. And I might just swirl the butter around a little. Okay. Now, we're just going to sear the meat for not long, maybe just a minute on each side. So grab your tongs and place the meat in the skillet. We have one more spice. If you like kind of this reddish color when it comes out, making it look kind of caramelized, I like a little smoked paprika on there. That's a little secret, optional. There you go. You hear that? You've got to hear a sizzle. If you put your steak down and you don't hear anything, take it off and raise the temperature. So we're just going to let this get a little brown underneath on both sides. There you go. Look at that color. Now, I usually use olive oil, but you want to use butter because it can take a higher temperature. So that's why we're cooking this with a little bit of butter. And we're about done, about ready to pull that. Again, about a minute each side. Okay, now your steak is ready to go in the oven. We've got both sides. And you'll want to heat this pretty hot. I've used that about 425 is my oven temperature. Now, I only like this cooked medium rare because remember, if it's more than medium rare, the cow had to die twice. Now, if you want it more medium, I'd keep it in the oven maybe 6 minutes, 7 minutes, keep checking on it. But for medium rare, about 5 minutes. So let's pop it in. Oh, and we'll want
both sides.
Yeah, well, one side, and then I'll flip it over and maybe do 1 minute on the other. Okay, let's put it in for 5. Okay, that's 5 minutes in. Now, medium rare should feel like a marshmallow. So you take your tongue, and yeah, that has a nice give. But I'm going to just put it under the broiler now for 1 minute just to make it nice and bubbly. All right. You might have a broiler button, as I do right there. And this is just for 1 minute. And we're done. Just give it a little pat of butter for a little extra love there. Filet is kind of a lean piece of meat, so a little extra fat is appreciated here. And then we have a side dish of rice and some vegetables, and dinner is served. Thanks for watching Cooking with Mrs. B. And there you go. Bon appetit.